Welcome to Ignorance Unleashed with your host Salvatore Cavalieri. Step into Salvatore's bold and unapologetic take on today's news and its impact on real estate. In just 10 minutes, enjoy no-nonsense insights with a dash of humor and absurdity. Approved by his psychiatrist and wife because they agree he needs this outlet.
Hey. So today we're going to talk about the importance of having courage. I think I already covered that a little bit, but I have certain experiences in business, of course, in property management, in rental. So you have to have the courage to say no to clients, and you have to have the courage to point out things that they're not working out very well. So, and I'm going to tie all this up with something that my father and a good friend of his told me many times. So let's start with the family teaching that my dad gave me so preciously. Okay, so again, my dad was a very successful entrepreneur. I rarely saw him because he was always doing businesses. He traveled abroad extensively, etc. But when he was home, he was very warm, and he would take me sometimes to his business meetings in construction and also to meet with other successful entrepreneurs. So there was this particular one. He was the big King Kong, the big gorilla in town. He was a successful builder. And my father was very social. He used to go to, certain nice bars. And I remember this was the bar of the Hotel Meliá in Puerto La Cruz. That was one of the fanciest places there. Okay, so you have sometimes even the surprise of having a famous singer just being there, sitting and sipping a drink. This is when Venezuela was prosperous. It was not a socialist, whatever they did with the country. Okay, so that's a separate conversation. So my father would say, "Hey, let's meet." Let me Rocco. Let's put him name as Rocco, okay? And now I will go there. I was probably 12, 13 years old, and he would be drinking there his scotch and smoking, of course. That was the tradition in the 80s most of the time, for most people. And he was sipping his drink, and he will be talking about his next deal, etc. So I was listening, making sense of that. But for some reason, every time this guy would talk to me, my father will be here, he will be here, so I will be looking at both of them while I was sitting in a bar, and he will tell me, Salvatore, devi avere le palle di acciaio. Devi avere le palle di acciaio. He was Italian, meaning you must have steel balls. We're going to have a very nice image of that, which I encountered by pure chance this weekend. You will have to have those balls of steel, and they should have all around it. They should have those seals that they are, casted in heat and in strength and grit and all that. Man, he will go for a while with those balls, okay? He will listen to him. So for me, a 10, 12-year-old kid was kind of complicated to put together. What is he talking about? Basically, then my father made a translation, and he would say, well, what he means is that you have to have courage. You have to have grit. That life, it is beautiful, but yet complicated sometimes. People and things, they come in your way. You get distractions. You get sometimes you may be pulled. You think that the road is straight like this, but then maybe you need to do this thing on one side, and then again go back to your whatever goal, whatever path it is. Okay, so. But at the end, he said, you need to have those values very strong, which is the courage to continue, the courage to be ethical, the courage to always say the truth, even if it is not pretty or nice or politically correct. You have to say it, okay? So that was his teaching, the big balls, the big steel balls, because he said most people do not have courage those days. So interesting. That was in the 80s. And this is what I hear also in the news all over the place, having people no spine, or getting offended so easily for everything. Okay? So that was very powerful to me, and I always remember that. And sometimes when I encounter difficult times, life send me messages. So this weekend I was traveling. I was actually in Austin, in Texas, and I was at the University of Texas. And in the morning, I was pondering about certain things that is happening in the industry, how to retool the office, how to inject new things, how to finishing some of the publishings I have, etc., etc. And so I was a little bit with a lot of things going on in this brain and trying to put a solution, the most efficient solution. And sometimes you even doubt, says, by God, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, well, these are the tools that I have. This is the knowledge I acquire. These are the people that I contact when I am in doubt. So your circle of friends that support you and professionals, right? So I'm walking by with all these things in my head, and all of a sudden I found these two huge, majestic, beautiful steel balls in the middle of the school for no reason. So I said, this is a message. This is a message that I need to continue in the path of being resourceful, have the strength, continue, and keep on going. Okay? So with that said, I'm gonna put some pictures in there. One of our clients, very nice gentleman, of course. He's trying to rent an apartment, and as I spoke before, apartments are going through some kind of crisis. Right after the pandemic, here in Central Florida, a lot of new construction went up, and a lot of it is sitting unoccupied. Apartments that are not being rented or not rented quick enough. So, and this gentleman has a unit that used to be great on his time, but the HOA has not put up with the necessary maintenance. So it's showing. So it's scaring away, potential new tenants, and so you will see the pictures. And you have furniture on the halls, you have garbage for weeks sitting on grass, dirty, parking lots, stuff like that. Those are the stuff that should not happen. Okay, an association should not happen. That owners, should be involved. A lot of owners, they just don't care. They just go in and out of their property. They don't care if the next one it is taken care or not. Not necessarily it's a blanket statement, but I see that a lot, especially with condominiums, with apartments, stuff like that. And this community has gone down. So I told the gentleman, here you go, mister. I show the property. We did the best we can, but look what I'm encountering. He was really upset. But I told him, this is what it is. If these people don't clean up this stuff, I'm out. I'm not going to continue representing you. I'm not. Why? Because my brand is suffering. Also, time and effort being put to show the property is going to waste. And also, the gentleman, the owner, he needs to know what's going on. Maybe he thinks that the property is being kept really well, but it's not. So I wonder, where is the money going being paid for HOAs and apartments and condos? Where is it going in certain places? There is another community where the tennis court, the lights that illuminate the tennis court are folded in. Right there, completely blocked. Nobody can go in there. So, guys, if you're a real estate agent listening, you need to watch out for that. Don't take a listing or keep it just because you need the money, because that's a disservice to your client. But also, if you see this kind of stuff, just don't take the listing. Just don't do it. And if it happens, you need to communicate immediately, have a solution. If the solution doesn't happen, you just move on. You just need to move on. Okay, so that is part of having the courage to say things to people that they're not pleasant. Okay, so it goes back to the big pair of balls that balls of steel that people, that those two great mentors, my dad and Rocco, used to tell me, and now is more relevant and applicable than ever. So please make your comments. If you have questions, drop it in there, help the community grow, and of course, provide solutions. If there's anything that you didn't like, fine, say, I didn't like this. I would have done it this way. Provide a good feedback so we can all grow. With that said, bye bye.